She said to her sister on speakerphone, "I'm training him. Soon he'll do whatever I want." She didn't know I was home early. I didn't interrupt. I just trained myself to want someone else. The panic in her eyes when she saw my packed bags. I, 32 male, came home early on a Thursday. Had a killer migraine, left work around 2 p.m. Cassie, 29, didn't expect me until 7. Opened the apartment door quietly, didn't want to wake her if she was napping. That's when I heard her voice from the bedroom, loud and clear. She was on speakerphone. "No, Mare, you don't get it. I'm training him, like literally training him." Cassie laughed. "Remember how he used to push back when I asked him to do stuff? Now he just does it." Her sister Meredith said something I couldn't quite hear. "Yeah, exactly. It's all about the system. You withdraw affection when they don't comply, reward them when they do. Ian's so desperate to make me happy that he'll do basically anything now. It's kind of pathetic but also convenient." I stood frozen in the hallway. 3 years together. Lived together for 18 months. Give it another few months, and I'll have him exactly where I want him. He's already doing all the cooking, cleaning, even makes my coffee in the morning how I like it. Dude works 50 hours a week and still comes home to handle everything. Meanwhile, I've been looking for the right job for 8 months? Meredith's response was muffled, but Cassie laughed again. "Please, he's not going anywhere. Where would he go? He's invested." Sunk cost fallacy. Plus I've got him convinced that no one else would put up with his workaholic tendencies. Honestly, once you understand male psychology, they're easy to manage. I backed out of the apartment, closed the door silently. Sat in my car for maybe 20 minutes, just processing. 3 years. I thought we were partners. Turns out I was a project. Here's the thing. Cassie was right about some of it. I did do most of the housework. I did make her coffee every morning. I did work long hours and still handle the grocery shopping, meal prep, laundry, but I thought I was being a good partner, thought we were building something together. Instead, she'd been running psychological experiments on me, like I was a lab rat. I drove around for an hour, grabbed coffee, sat in a parking lot and made a decision. I wasn't going to confront her, wasn't going to argue or fight or try to make her see how messed up this was. People like that don't change. They just get better at hiding it. I was going to do exactly what she accused me of being too invested to do. Leave, but methodically, carefully, the way you dismantle something you built. Got home around 5, acted normal. She was watching TV, barely looked up when I came in. "Hey babe, you're home early." Migraine got better, figured I'd work from home tomorrow instead. "Oh, can you make that pasta thing for dinner? The one with the sun-dried tomatoes?" "Sure." I made the pasta. We ate. She talked about her day, some drama with her friend group. I nodded, responded at appropriate times. Inside, I was already gone. That night, lying next to her, I planned. Our lease was in both names, up for renewal in 3 months. I'd been hesitant about renewing, wanted to look for a bigger place, maybe buy something. Cassie kept saying we should wait. Now I understood why. Easier to keep someone manageable when they don't have roots. I had enough saved for a solid deposit on my own place. My name was on all the utilities. The furniture was mostly mine from before we moved in together. Started the next day. During my lunch break, I looked at apartments. Found a decent 1-bedroom about 20 minutes away. Filled out an application, got approved by Wednesday. Didn't tell Cassie. Instead, I started pulling back. Not dramatically. That would tip her off. Just slowly reducing my effort. Stopped making her coffee in the morning. When she asked why, I said I was running late. Started meal prepping only my own lunches. When she noticed, I said I was trying a new diet plan and didn't want to force it on her. "You've been acting weird," she said after about a week. "Just stressed with work." "Well, don't take it out on me. I need you present in this relationship, Ian." "I'm here. Are you though?" I looked at her. Really looked at her, saw the calculation in her eyes. She was running through her playbook, trying to figure out which manipulation would work. The guilt trip, the accusation, the tears. "I'm here," I repeated, "just tired." She softened, came over to hug me. "I know, babe, you work so hard. Maybe we should plan a weekend away? Just us?" Maybe. Over the next 3 weeks, I systematically prepared. Opened a new bank account at a different bank, started having my paycheck split, keeping just enough in our shared expenses account to cover my half of rent and utilities. Rerouted all my personal bills, went through the apartment, made a mental inventory of what was mine. Bought boxes, kept them in my trunk. Started reconnecting with friends. Cassie had slowly edged out of my life. Guys from college, co-workers I'd stopped hanging out with because Cassie always had plans for us or needed me home. "Where are you going?" she'd ask when I said I had plans. "Basketball with Greg." "You haven't played basketball in like a year." "Yeah, been too long. Should be fun." Her face would tighten. She didn't like it, but she couldn't quite figure out how to stop it without showing her hand. Called the landlord, told him we wouldn't be renewing. He was cool about it, said he appreciated the notice. Cassie's name was on the lease too, so she'd get the notification, but that was fine. By the time she did, I'd be gone. The shift in me was real. Wasn't even forced. Once you see someone for who they really are, you can't unsee it. Every "I love you" from her felt like a lie. Every touch felt manipulative. I was polite, cordial, but the emotional connection? Dead. "Are you seeing someone else?" she asked one night, about 5 weeks after the speakerphone conversation. "No, you're different, you're distant. Just focused on work, big project coming up." "You're lying." Her voice had an edge now. "I can tell when you're lying." "I'm not seeing anyone else, Cassie, I'm just tired." She tried a different tack, started being extra affectionate. Cooked dinner twice, badly, but she tried. Suggested we watch my favorite show. Initiated intimacy more frequently. I went through the motions. But inside, I was counting down days. Lease ended on the 31st. I planned to move on the 29th, a Saturday. Took the day off work, told Cassie I had to go in for an emergency project. Instead, I went to my new apartment, did the walkthrough, got the keys. Then I went home at 3 p.m. and started packing. Update 1. She came home around 4:30. I heard her key in the lock, her footsteps. Then silence. I was in the bedroom, loading clothes into boxes. My clothes. Had already packed my books, my gaming console, my kitchen stuff I'd brought into the relationship. "Ian?" Her voice was uncertain. "What are you doing?" I looked up. "Packing. I can see that." "Why?" "I'm moving out." Her face went through about 5 emotions in 3 seconds. Confusion, disbelief, anger, panic, then this calculated calm. "Very funny. What's this actually about?" "This is about me leaving. Lease is up in 2 days. I'm not renewing." "We didn't discuss this. You can't just decide." "I can actually, and I did." "Ian, stop." She used her soft voice, the one that used to work. "Whatever's going on, we can talk about it. This is insane. You're being impulsive." "I'm being deliberate actually. Been planning this for 6 weeks." That landed. Her expression changed. 6 weeks? What happened 6 weeks ago? "I came home early, heard you on speakerphone with Meredith, the training conversation." All the color drained from her face. "That was, I didn't mean." "You meant it, and you were right about some of it. I was trained, I was doing everything while you did nothing, but you were wrong about one thing." "What?" "You said I was too invested to leave. Turns out, once you realize someone sees you as a project instead of a partner, it's pretty easy to check out." She switched tactics fast, the tears came. "Ian, please. I was just venting to my sister. I didn't mean any of that. You know how sisters talk, we exaggerate." "Don't. I'm not doing this." I went back to packing. "Where are you going? Got my own place? You got an apartment? Without telling me?" "Yep. This is insane. You can't just abandon me. We live together. We have a life." "You have a life. I had an arrangement where I worked and did housework while you found yourself." "That's not fair." "You're right. It wasn't fair. That's why I'm leaving." She started crying harder. "I love you. We can fix this. I'll change." "Cassie, you told your sister you were training me like a dog. There's nothing to fix. We're done." "You're being cruel. After 3 years, you're just throwing us away." "I'm not throwing anything away. There was no us. There was you managing me." I kept packing. She kept crying, pleading, occasionally switching to anger. I ignored all of it. Took me about 3 more hours to get everything sorted. My friend Greg showed up with his truck around 7. "Dude," he said quietly when he saw Cassie's face. "You good?" "Yeah, I'm good." We loaded boxes. Cassie followed us around, alternating between begging and yelling. At one point she tried to grab a box, said half the stuff was ours and I couldn't take it. I pulled up receipts on my phone, showed her the purchase dates. Before we lived together, she backed off. By 10 p.m., I was done. Apartment was mostly empty of my stuff. I left the furniture we'd bought together. A couch, a coffee table. Everything else was mine, and it was gone. Ian, please. One last try at the door. Don't do this. We can go to counseling. We can work on things. No, we can't, because you don't think there's anything to work on. You think you found a system that works. Good luck with that, but I'm out. You'll regret this. No one else is going to deal with your workaholism. You're going to realize what you gave up. Maybe. But at least I'll be with someone who sees me as a person. I left, went to my new apartment. Greg helped me unload, ordered pizza, cracked open beers. That was intense, he said. Yeah. You okay? Getting there. Spent that first night in my new place on an air mattress, surrounded by boxes. Weirdly peaceful. No one to manage my emotions for. No one evaluating my behavior. Just me. Cassie started texting around midnight. 33 messages in 2 hours. Started with apologies, moved to promises, ended with anger. Blocked her around 2 a.m. Next day, Sunday, Meredith called. I answered, curious about what script they'd come up with. Ian, it's Meredith. Cassie told me what happened. Did she tell you I heard your conversation? The training one? Silence. That was taken out of context. There's no context that makes that okay, Meredith. Look, my sister loves you. She's devastated. Can you just talk to her? No. You're being childish. Relationships take work. You don't just bail when things get hard. Things weren't hard. Things were unbalanced. Big difference. She's a mess right now. How can you be so cold? Tell your sister good luck with her next training project. We're done here. I hung up. Blocked her too. The entitlement was unreal. They genuinely thought I should come back because Cassie was upset. Like her feelings mattered, but mine didn't. Like overhearing someone plot to manipulate you was something you just get over. Nah. I was done. Update 2. First week was quiet. Too quiet. I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop. It dropped on day 9. Cassie showed up at my office. Security called up, asked if I wanted her sent up. I said no. She tried to push past, apparently, and they had to escort her out. My boss caught wind of it, pulled me aside. Everything okay? Security said your ex tried to force her way up? Yeah, sorry about that. Going through a breakup. She's having trouble accepting it. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. No problem. Just wanted to check. Let us know if you need anything. That night, Cassie was waiting by my car in the parking garage. This is borderline stalking, I said. I just want to talk. We have nothing to talk about. Ian, please. I made a mistake. One stupid conversation with my sister and you're throwing away 3 years. It wasn't one conversation. It was your whole mindset. The conversation just showed me what you really thought. I'll prove it to you. I'll get a job. A real job. I'll do all the housework, whatever you want. I don't want anything from you, Cassie. That's the point. There's someone else, isn't there? That's why you're being like this. There's no one else. I just don't want to be with you. Her face twisted. You're pathetic. You know that? You're going to end up alone. No one's going to put up with you like I did. Probably right. Good thing I'd rather be alone than managed. I got in my car. She slapped the window, yelled something I couldn't hear. I drove away. Next came the family campaign. Her mom called. Her dad. Meredith again from a different number. All with variations of the same message. I was being unreasonable. Cassie made a mistake. Relationships require forgiveness. I was abandoning her when she needed me most. I kept my responses short. We're done. Please don't contact me again. Then blocked. The dirty trick came 2 weeks post-breakup. My landlord from the old place called. Hey Ian, got a problem. Cassie's saying you took stuff that belonged to both of you. She's asking me to help her get it back or she'll sue me for not protecting her property rights. Did she provide proof of ownership? No, just her word. I have receipts for everything I took. Want me to send them? Yeah, that'd be great. Just covering my bases. Sent him a whole folder. Screenshots of purchase confirmations, credit card statements, dates showing I bought everything before we lived together. He thanked me, said he'd handle it. Cassie tried a different angle next. Posted on social media a long, vague post about narcissistic partners and financial abuse and being left with nothing. Didn't name me, but anyone who knew us would know. I didn't respond. Didn't engage. Just kept living my life. Here's what she didn't expect. I was fine. Better than fine, actually. My apartment was smaller, but it was mine. I cooked when I wanted, cleaned on my schedule. Started playing basketball weekly with Greg and some guys. Picked up reading again. Slept better. About 3 weeks in, I ran into Dana. We'd worked together 2 years ago, stayed friendly but lost touch after I got serious with Cassie. Bumped into her at a coffee shop. Ian. Oh my God, how are you? We caught up. She'd switched companies, was doing well, single after her own relationship ended 6 months back. We exchanged numbers, said we should grab drinks sometime. We did. The following Thursday. Nothing romantic, just two people catching up. But it was easy, comfortable. She laughed at my jokes. I wasn't performing or managing or trying to be anything except myself. You seem different, she said, more relaxed than I remember. Yeah, went through some stuff recently, coming out the other side. Good stuff or bad stuff? Started bad. Ending good. We had drinks twice more over the next 2 weeks. Third time she kissed me. I kissed her back. It felt right. Uncomplicated. I should tell you, I said. I just got out of something, like a month ago. I know, your social media made it pretty clear. You saw Cassie's post? Everyone saw it. Most people saw through it too, if that helps. Doesn't hurt, Dana smiled. Look, no pressure. We can take this slow. I just like spending time with you. Same. That's when Cassie's spy network kicked in. One of her friends saw us at a bar. Reported back. Next day, my phone exploded. Texts from a new number. Unknown. So you did have someone else. You liar. Unknown. Been seeing her this whole time probably. Used me until you had something better lined up. You're disgusting. Everyone needs to know what kind of person you really are. I screenshot everything. Didn't respond. Called my buddy who's a lawyer. Asked about harassment laws. He said to document everything, send one cease and desist, then if it continued, we could pursue a restraining order. Sent a formal text. Cassie, this is harassment. We're broken up. Who I see is none of your business. Contact me again and I'll pursue legal action. She showed up at the bar Dana and I went to. Must have gotten the location from her friend. Dana and I were having dinner when Cassie walked in, saw us, and made a scene. Are you kidding me right now? She was loud. Everyone turned to look. I stayed calm. Cassie, you need to leave. You told me there was no one else. You lied to me. I didn't lie. There wasn't anyone when we broke up. What I do now isn't your concern. We broke up a month ago and you're already with someone? That's sick. Dana spoke up, voice level. Hi, I'm Dana. We actually just started seeing each other last week, but also, not sure how this is your business. It's my business because he was my boyfriend for 3 years. Was. Past tense. Maybe time to move on? Cassie turned on her. You don't even know him. He's a workaholic who'll ignore you for his job. Good luck with that. Thanks for the warning. I'll take my chances. The manager came over. Ladies, I need everyone to keep it down or I'll have to ask you to leave. I'm already leaving, Cassie said. Enjoy your rebound, Ian. Hope she enjoys being your maid. She stormed out. Dana looked at me. Your ex seems nice. I laughed. Couldn't help it. Sorry about that. Don't be. Kind of explains why you're still a little guarded. That obvious? Little bit. But I get it. Take your time. The fact that she was cool about it didn't make it a big dramatic thing. That meant everything. Update 3. Final. It's been 4 months since I left. Time for the final update because this needs to be closed out. Cassie didn't let up easy. After the bar incident, she tried a few more things. Week 6. Showed up at my apartment building. Building has security. They called me. I told them she wasn't welcome. They escorted her out. She screamed about how I was keeping her personal items. I wasn't, and she'd call the police. She didn't. Week 7. Her dad called my dad. Complained that I'd abandoned his daughter and stolen property. My dad, who never liked Cassie, told him to tell his daughter to move on. Then called me to make sure I was okay. Week 8. Posted on social media again. This time directly tagging me in a long post about narcissistic abuse and love bombing, then discarding. My friends defended me in the comments. I untagged myself and let it go. Week 10. Tried to friend request Dana on multiple platforms. Dana blocked her immediately and sent me screenshots of the requests. Your ex is persistent. I'll give her that. The thing that finally ended it wasn't legal action or a big confrontation. It was Cassie realizing she had no leverage. The apartment lease wasn't renewed. She had to move out. Heard through mutual friends, she moved back with her parents. The narrative she'd been spinning about financial abuse fell apart when people realized she'd been unemployed by choice for 8 months, while I funded everything. Her friends started distancing themselves after the bar scene. Apparently, making a public spectacle isn't a good look. The few who reached out to me got the real story. Overheard her saying she was training me, decided that wasn't a relationship I wanted, left. Most of them said some version of, "Yeah, that sounds like something she'd say." Dana and I kept seeing each other. Took it slow like she suggested. She never pushed, never demanded, never manipulated, just showed up as herself and let me show up as myself. Novel concept. 3 months in, we had dinner at her place. Halfway through, she said, "You know you can relax around me, right? I'm not keeping score." I know. Do you though? Because sometimes you still act like you're being evaluated. I thought about it, working on it. 3 years of walking on eggshells doesn't go away overnight. Fair. Just want you to know, I like you as you are, not as whatever optimized version you think you should be. That meant more than she probably knew. Last I heard about Cassie, through the grapevine because I don't check on her, she's seeing someone new. Some guy she met online. Already living together after 2 months. Her social media shows them doing all these activities, her posting about finally finding someone who gets her. I don't feel vindicated or satisfied. Mostly I just feel bad for the guy. He's probably getting the same treatment I did. The training program. Maybe he'll figure it out faster than I did. Maybe he won't. Not my problem anymore. My life now, dating Dana seriously. We're taking a trip next month. Back in touch with all my friends, playing basketball weekly, reading more. Actually enjoying cooking again because I'm doing it for me, not to meet someone else's standards. The apartment's fully furnished now. Got a decent couch, a proper bed frame, filled the bookcases. It's not huge or fancy, but it's mine. No one's evaluating how I load the dishwasher or critiquing my grocery choices. Work's going well. Got a promotion last month. The focus I'd been putting into my relationship went back into my career. Turns out I'm pretty good at my job when I'm not emotionally exhausted. Someone asked me last week if I regretted how I handled it, leaving without a big confrontation, not trying to work it out. Nope, I said. Some things aren't fixable because they were never broken. They were built wrong from the start. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. Cassie told Meredith I was a project to manage. That's who she was. Not who she became, not who the relationship made her. That's who she was all along. The training program worked both ways. She trained me to comply. I trained myself to leave. Only difference, my training actually stuck. I'm doing okay now? Better than okay. I'm happy. Not the performance of happiness to keep someone satisfied, actual, genuine contentment. That's what happens when you stop being someone's project and start being your own person again. To anyone in a similar situation, if your partner talks about you like you're something to manage rather than someone to love, that's not a relationship. That's a hostage situation with better decor. You can leave. It won't be easy, but it's worth it. Trust me on this one. Time to close this chapter. Got a life to live? That's actually mine. Peace.